Great students of Master's Vessel, I have come back today for us to continue with the subject chemistry, and my name is Mr. Chidube Odemenam. Last week we were doing a review the last term examination for XS1, and we stopped at question 10. Today we are starting with question 11. Question 11 says, how many orbitals are in the subshell? How many orbitals are in the subshell? The subshells we have are S, P, D, F. And now the question is, how many orbitals are in D subshell? Each orbital contains 2 electrons. I will explain some of the things, not only the D. The S orbital contains one orbital. This one contains 3. This one contains 5. This one contains 7. Therefore, the answer here is 5 orbitals. D subshell contains 5 orbitals. That is the answer. We're not going to waste so much time. Well, I would have explained, but I've just told you that each of the orbital contains 2 electrons. Therefore, you see that the S orbital contains 2 electrons. The P orbital contains 6 electrons. The D orbital contains 10 electrons. And the F orbital contains 14. But the answer to this question is 5 orbital. Then number 12. Number 12 says, mention 2 attractive forces that may operate between gas molecules. These attractive forces are the forces that keep the molecules of a gas together. And the 2 of the forces that keep molecules of a gas together are van der Waals, and dipole force. These are the 2 forces, attractive forces, that hold the molecules of a gas together. Then number 13 says, suggest one reason why magnesium oxide is used to line the inner surface of a furnace. Suggest one reason why magnesium oxide is used to line the inner surface of a furnace. The formula of magnesium oxide is MgO. And this magnesium oxide is an ionic compound. In ionic compound, you know some of the properties of ionic compound. One of the properties of ionic compound is that it has high melting point and high boiling point. Therefore, why you use magnesium oxide to line the inner surface of a furnace is because it has high melting point. That is to say that it is heat resistant. The reason why it is used is because it has high melting point. Hence its heat resistance. Then I want to believe that you are clear about it. I said that magnesium oxide is an ionic compound. Hence it has high melting point. Because it has high melting point, it means that it's heat resistance. Hence you use it to line the inner surface of a furnace. Number 14. Number 14 says, when calcium and fluorine forms ion, when calcium and fluorine forms ion, which noble gas configuration does each ion have? When calcium, the atomic number of calcium is 20. Therefore, the electronic configuration will be 2882 because it has atomic number of 20. Fluorine, the atomic number of fluorine is 9. And the electronic configuration is 27. Therefore, the question says, when calcium and fluorine forms ion, which noble configuration does each ion have? When calcium forms ion, it will form this. It will lose 2 electrons to give you 288. This one will gain 1 electron to give you 28. This is a neon configuration. While this one is argon configuration. This one, calcium forms ion by loss of 2 electrons, while fluorine forms ion by gain of 1 electron. The calcium will form argon configuration, while the fluorine will form neon configuration. That takes care of number 14. Then number 15 says, why? Explain why air inflated balloon burst in the hot sun. Explain why air inflated balloon burst in hot sun. The simple answer there is because increase in temperature increases the kinetic energy. If the kinetic energy of the molecules of air in the balloon is increased, the forces by which they collide with each other will be very stronger. Because of that, there is increase in kinetic energy, and the balloon will now burst. Increase in temperature increases kinetic energy, and I've explained why it increases kinetic energy. Because the energy at which they collide with each other is increased. That's the answer for number 15. Then number 16 says, the melting point, these are objective questions, but I don't need to give you the option. We'll just answer it as if it were to be a subjective question. That is one of the things, the benefit of you being a student of this school. We usually ask subjective questions. And if you are very sound in knowing subjective questions, it will be very easy for you to answer objective questions. Therefore, I will assume that this is subjective question. So the high melting point of ionic compound are due to. Somehow we have answered this question already. The high melting point of ionic compound are due to, it is because the forces of attraction, the bonding between the ionic compound is very strong. And if the bonding between the elements that make up the ionic compound is strong, then you will need much more heat or energy to be able to break the bond. For when you look at the answers there, you see that the answer is A, the presence of strong electrostatic forces of attraction. Then number 17 says, which of the following molecules has the strongest covalent bond? Which of the following molecules has the strongest covalent bond? We look at hydrogen. We have chlorine. We have chlorine molecule. We have oxygen molecule. We have nitrogen molecule. What you will do here, you find out the bonds that hold them together. If you look at hydrogen, it's a single bond that is holding it together. If you look at chlorine, it's a single bond that is holding it together. If you look at oxygen, it's a double bond that is holding it together. If you look at nitrogen, it's a triple bond that is holding it together. Ordinarily, my student, I believe that with this explanation, you can get the answer directly. You can see that it is nitrogen that have the strongest covalent bond because it has a triple bond. Triple covalent bond. That is why nitrogen have the strongest covalent bond. And if you look at it, the one that have the strongest covalent bond is nitrogen. We'll go to the next question, number 18. Number 18 says, which of the following molecule is non-linear? Which of the following molecule is non-linear? I'm answering this question in such a way that it's not just getting the answer, but knowing how you got the answer. And it will help you even to know the other thing here. Which of the following molecules is non-linear? The molecules here are CO2. The B1 is F fluorine molecule. The C1 is water molecule. The D1 is hydrogen chloride molecule. The question is, which of the following molecule is non-linear? Look at the structure of carbon 4 oxide. See? Double bond. You can see here that this is a linear structure. You can see this is a linear structure. You look at fluorine, you have F. This is linear also. You look at water. Water is this. This is non-linear. You look at hydrogen chloride is a linear structure. Therefore, the answer is C, because water, the structure is non-linear. Number 19. Naphthalene crystals are held together by the naphthalene. They are held together by van der Waals forces. They are held together by van der Waals forces. The answer is B. Then number 20. Number 20. Number 20, the question is, if 60 cm cube of a gas is heated from 27 degrees centigrade to 77 degrees centigrade, what is the new volume of the gas at constant pressure? You see that you have volume. You can call it V1 is equal to 60 cm cube. You have T1, that is temperature 1, temperature T1 is equal to 27 degrees centigrade. The best thing you will do, you now, because gas laws, they work on thermodynamic temperature, which is in Kelvin. You convert it to Kelvin, which will give you 27 plus 273 to give you 300 Kelvin. Then you have your temperature T2, which is 77 degrees centigrade. You convert it to Kelvin, which will give you 273 plus 77, 0, 5. That will give you 350 Kelvin. Then what you have again there is then V2, volume 2, V2 is what you are looking for. Therefore, what you ask yourself, since the variables that I have here is volume and temperature, you ask yourself, what law will relate this? The law that will be used to solve this problem is Charles' law, which states that the volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to the temperature in Kelvin, pressure remaining constant, which is V is directly proportional to T, pressure constant. Based on that, the equation you will use to solve this problem will be V1 all over T1 equals to V2 all over T2. We are looking for V2, therefore we will make V2 the subject of the formula. If we are making V2 the subject of the formula, you have V1 times T2 divided by T1. If you look at the board, you see that you cross multiply V1 times T2 is equals to V2 times T1. Then you make V2 the subject of the formula, becomes V2 equals to V1 times T2 divided by T1. We'll now substitute the values. We have V2 is equals to V1 here is 60 cm cube multiplied by T2, which is 350 Kelvin, divided by T1, which is 300 Kelvin. Kelvin will cancel Kelvin. 0 will cancel 0. 0 will cancel 0. 3 here is 1. 3 here is 2. 2 times 35 will give you 70. Therefore, our answer V2 is equal to 70 cm cube. That is the answer for number 20. Then number 21 says the pressure of a gas is due to the pressure of a gas. You know that a gas is always contained in a volume, a given volume. And you know that pressure is force over area. That given volume is an area, which means that the pressure of a gas must be because of the gases colliding with itself and the walls of the container. When they collide with itself, they exert a force. When they collide with the walls of the container, they exert a force too. And you know that pressure is force over area. Therefore, you look at the answer there, they say collision between the molecules and the walls of the container. D is the answer. The pressure of a gas is due to the collision between the molecules and the walls of the container. Number 22. Number 22 says the collision between gas molecules. The collision between gas molecules is perfectly elastic, because what we mean by perfectly elastic is that there is no loss of energy while they collide. There is no loss of energy while they collide. And if you look at the answers there, you see that the one that corresponds with that is there is no loss of energy during the collision. Or sometimes you can say there is no loss of momentum when they collide. Number 23. Number 23. The general gas equation can be written thus. The general gas equation is a combination of Boyle's law and Charles' law. And you know that Charles' law says that the volume of a given mass of gas is directly proportional to temperature in Kelvin, pressure remaining constant. And the Boyle's law says that the volume of a given mass of gas is inversely proportional to pressure, temperature remaining constant. Therefore, when you combine them together, the equation that actually gives you that is D. D here says P1 times V1 times T2 is equals to P2 times V2 times T1. This is derived from this P1 times V1 all over T1 is equals to P2 times V2 all over T2. This is the general gas equation. But when you cross multiply this, you have P1 times V1 times T2 is equal to P2 times V2 times T1, which is what you are given here. That is the answer, D. Therefore, we look at number 24. Number 24 says, an increase in the pressure of a gas results in a decrease in its what? Increase in pressure of gas referred to. You know that Boyle's law says that the volume of a given mass of gas is inversely proportional to pressure, temperature remaining constant. And usually we have a diagram like this. If you have P here, this one will be V. If you have P here, this one will be V. If you have P here, this one will be V. If you have P here, this one will be V. You can see that as pressure is decreasing, volume is increasing. Therefore, an increase in the pressure of a gas results in decrease in its volume, because volume is indirectly proportional to pressure. For the answer there is C. Then number 25. Number 25. Please listen. You can write them down, but I will just write down the important things that we'll use in calculation. The question says, if the volume of a given mass of gas at 0 degrees centigrade is 27.3 cm cube, if the volume of a given mass of gas at 0 degrees centigrade is 27.3 cm cube, which means we can get here that T1 is equals to 0 degrees centigrade. And if we convert it to Kelvin, it becomes 273 Kelvin. Then you will see that we have our V1. Volume 1 is 27.3 cm cube. Then you say, what will be the volume of the gas at 10 degrees centigrade if the pressure remains constant? This is Charles' law. What will be the volume of the gas at 10 degrees centigrade? Means that you have your T2 is equals to 10 degrees centigrade. You now convert it to Kelvin. 273 plus 10. That will give you 283. 283 Kelvin. Then you use the Boyle's law that says V1 all over T1 equals to V2 all over T2. You know here that we don't know what V2 is, which means we'll make V2 the subject of the formula. And if we are making V2 the subject of the formula, you have V1 times T2, that is V1 times T2, V1 times T2 divided by T1. We'll now substitute, we have V2 is equals to, our V1 here is 27.3 cm cube. Multiplied by our T2 here is 283 Kelvin. Divided by T1, which is 273 Kelvin. Kelvin cancel Kelvin. Then finish it on your own. You discover that the answer is use your calculator and finish it. You discover that the answer is 28.3 cm cube. I hope your calculator, you've been able to get the correct answer, 28.3 cm cube. The important thing you must learn is any question you are given, know the law that is being referred to, and then the laws which you have already memorized, you can use it to solve it. But if you cannot even get the law, normally you can go in first principle. Like, you know that Charles' law is volume is directly proportional to temperature. Then you will say V is equals to KT. Then you will find K is equals to V over T. Then you will now see that is how you have V1 over T1 is equals to V2 over T2. If you cannot remember it, you do it by first principle and derive the equation yourself. Then number 26. I think I can clean the board. Number 26 says, what does X stand for in the following expression? What does X stand for in the following expression? This is the definition of pH. Therefore, X is pH of a solution. The negative log of hydrogen ion concentration. The negative log of hydrogen ion concentration. That is pH. And the answer, the same thing with a degree of acidity. Then number 27 says, the following are heavy chemicals except. The important thing is that you should know what heavy chemicals are. Heavy chemicals are chemicals that are produced in large quantity, and most times are not very pure. Heavy chemicals are chemicals produced in very large quantity, most times not very pure, and they are used extensively in the chemical industry. For when you have those things, we'll give you examples of heavy chemicals. Here he says, the following are heavy chemicals except. You can see that tetraoxos of a 6 acid is a heavy chemical. Sodium hydroxide is a heavy chemical. Sodium trioxocarbonate 4 is a heavy chemical. Therefore, the one that is not a heavy chemical is dye. That is the answer. And you discover that dye, they are usually produced in small quantity. Most of the time, they are very expensive. And they are equally of very high purity. Then number 28 says, the number of replaceable hydrogen atoms in one molecule of an acid indicates is dash. The number of replaceable hydrogen atoms in one molecule of an acid indicates is what? The answer there is basicity. For instance, you have this HCl. You have ethanoic acid. You have tetraoxos of a 6 acid. This is a replaceable hydrogen atom. This is a replaceable hydrogen atom. This is a replaceable hydrogen atom. You can see that these two are monobasic, while this one is dibasic. But the answer there, I'm trying to explain. The answer there is A, basicity. Then number 29 says a weak acid is one which a weak acid. The definition of a weak acid is an acid that undergoes partial ionization. It undergoes partial ionization. While a strong acid is an acid that undergoes complete ionization in aqueous solution. For based on that definition, you can see that the answer is B. A weak acid is one which is slightly ionized. Then number 30. Number 30 says alum. All right. Number 30 says alum are classified as, most of the alum, you know, we use the alum in water treatment. Then even in tie and dye is equally used as mordant. But in most of the time, alums contain two metals and a radical. At least two metals and a radical. Therefore, the answer here, alums are classified as double salt. Alums are classified as double salt. My great student, we have come to the end of this revision for SS1, and I believe that even other students will benefit from this, because when they are in SS2, they will ask you what you have done in SS1. When you are in SS3, even the SS1 work is up to 45% of the scheme. Therefore, I believe that you have gained so much. We are not going to continue with the theory question. I'm giving you the theory question as your assignment. Go and do it. But this objective and subjective area covers the whole scheme for first term and second term SS1 work. And I believe that having answered it, it will help you to answer the theory question, which, if you have paid attention, it will help you to answer the theory questions. When we come next, we will now go over to learning proper. I wish you luck. Keep safe. Continue to wash your hands. Use your face masks. And keep your social distance so that we will see you back again when I believe our Lord will be able to remove this from us. Bye-bye, and may God bless you. Thank you.